Here. We should be going. We are.
Hello and welcome to the hashtag TFR Motivation Monday Zoom. We are Dr. Dondi and Marcy Nettles, and we've got some exciting information for you tonight, all about personal growth. But before we get into that and bring on our amazing special guest, we've got some stuff we want to share with you, like
if you can't be on here live, we've got you covered, right? Not to mention, if you're like us, which most people should be, right? You want to go back and you want to watch these over and over so that you really grasp what the message was that you needed to catch if you missed it, right? So make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe to Team Freedom Reigns. Don't just hit the subscribe button. Make sure you ding the bell so you get notifications, right? Every time that we upload new content. So Team Freedom Reigns on YouTube.
Oh my gosh, this is super important. And I know we keep saying this every single week because it's that important. Something that deserves constant repetition, and that is compliance. It is very important that we remain compliant and that we stick to remaining compliant because it will preserve our businesses and the longevity of our company, because when we are compliant, we stick around. It's literally that easy. And if you have not seen this 9-minute video, all of us have access to it in our back office. Stop Xing out of it and actually watch it. It's just 9 minutes, but we'll give you a very good understanding of what we can say and what we should not be saying.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an amazing tool there. Now, the monthly marketing playbook, speaking of tools, oh my gosh, they have the most amazing August media calendar out. The social media calendar. Go and check it out on the monthly marketing playbook. You're going to have all the information that you need to be able to share about our product of the month, which for the month of August, it's Pro Tandem Tri-Synergizer, which, by the way, if you just got that, we're in the month of August.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. But there's blogs, there's social shareables, there's podcasts, there's Facebook Lives, all to help you share information on this amazing opportunity and the products that we offer.
And we have the ITT. Part of our system is the launch guide. The big part about that is the ITT, the Invite Tool Train. What we're using here for the first step, the invite, is biohackingaging.com. If you have not seen it, make sure to make note of that. It is an entry video to send your prospects to for the first touch. And if they have questions, obviously we connect them to the team. And in the interim, in between that, we have the tool of LV Overview. So the LVO, we do them every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And tomorrow night is going to be a huge one with unbelievable presenter Jason Kokenzie. You're going to watch this amazing Elite Pro 8. Just bring it with the brand new PowerPoint presentation from the company. So taking control with LifeVantage Switch tomorrow with Jason Kokenzie.
And then, of course, the 3 that Dondi mentioned that we offer every single week live on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. You can see the time here. It's always the same Zoom link. If you use the link, you do not need a password. So use the link. It makes it a lot easier. And we will be using the new PowerPoint starting tomorrow. So we're super excited about that. By the way, guys, plug into this new system. The simplicity of it and everybody being on the same page, that is what's going to really push us into momentum. And if you've been wanting and waiting and wishing for, it's time to do your part and be part of the system.
Yes, absolutely. And think about this as far as the system goes. If you're looking to build a business outside of your own town, outside of your own state, outside of your own country, you need to make sure you capitalize on the system. That is because if you have a prospect in another part of the world, you send them to see the information, they're going to see the same information that you're sharing with your team, which is why the system is so important. Speaking of the system, Success Mastery every Saturday. Unbelievable elite and master trainers here, or elite and master distributors training you on the skills, some success stories, call to action, all kinds of things. And most recently, we saw this amazing thing about our products, the Tri-Synergizer, the Orb. And I wish we would have been able to see it the way we saw it when it was presented on stage in this massive globe. But we have unbelievable trainers to teach you not only why the products work, how the products work, but real life examples to make it simple. So when you're sharing the information with your prospects, you don't sound like a scientist, but you sound like somebody who's passionate and cares about other people.
Yeah.
Tune into this every Saturday.
And there has not been one Saturday that it has not just been like
over the
perfect
top
and beautiful and exactly what we need. And if you're missing these, you really don't have to go far to find out why you're not getting the success that you want in your business. You've got to plug in, guys. You got to plug in.
That was a Freudian slip right there.
It was.
So,
out of the box, baby. It's out of the box.
Global convention. And if you have already registered for the global convention that we were supposed to be having in Las Vegas, don't worry about it. You do not need to pre-register, you are covered. But we've got this unbelievable global convention coming up that is going to be virtual. It's going to be unlike anything we've ever seen in the history of LifeVantage, and it comes with this unbelievable convention gift box for $300 value for what you've paid for it. And right now it's $199. So you're going to be being paid to go to this event, literally, with all the information that comes along with this awesome box. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, seriously, don't miss out, guys, because that's where the success secrets really are.
Right, write that date down. And here we go to our guest presenter. We have an unbelievable Elite Pro 7, Kathleen Troust, and she's going to share with you her role, or the role of personal growth in her journey and her story, her amazing story. And it's not without its challenges, like all of us. So sometimes people think that people that make it to the elite ranks just have this squeaky clean life. They've never had any problems, especially the ones that are the Pro 10s and above. And it's really not true at all. We are all just human beings, just like everyone else. We go through the same pitfalls. We go through the same struggles, and we go through the same victories when we keep growing. That's what it's going to be all about tonight. And we are just so excited to have Elite Pro 7 Kathleen Troust on. So let's give her a little background about who our presenter is tonight.
So Kathleen has her doctorate degree in physical therapy and specialized in myofascial release and women's health for many years. She remained self-employed until her early retirement in 2017. She was formerly in the fitness profession as a trainer, Pilates instructor, and group exercise teacher. She is a single mom of 2 boys and an Elite Pro 7 in LifeVantage. So Kathleen, will you please unmute yourself and join us here, because we are super, super excited to have you bless our amazing team.
Oh, this is so fun. Well, thank you for reaching out. You know, the last time I think we got to hang out was on a party boat in the Bahamas. I can't wait for that next incentive trip. Talk about some serious personal growth to make those trips happen. So I really appreciate you reaching out. That's one thing I love about LifeVantage is so much support. It's not just your upline, it's the company, it's our culture to support each other. So I'll start by sharing a little bit of my story and then a little bit more how personal growth has been threaded through my success here in LifeVantage. And as you said, it's not a straight line. There's lots of ups and downs, and I'm going to share some examples of challenges that I've had in this business, but I'm still here. And Marcy and Don D are still here despite challenges that happen. So I will say this, I was trapped by a profession that I loved. And I was a physical therapist. After my fitness career, I became a physical therapist, got my doctorate degree, but then quickly went into a body of work called myofascial release. That is all about mind, body, spirit, healing on many levels, really outside the box of Western medicine. And I loved it because there was so much growth in that. And I loved it. And I got to do women's health, of course, but soon after I started my own practice, I had my own practice for 3 years in the heart of Georgetown in Washington, D.C. That was great, but I was trapped because I had to show up at work every day. I had to pay that rent every day when there was a blizzard and people had to cancel or somebody was sick. I had to start, and at one point, 3 years in, I had to kind of choose between running a practice that I had to be 100% responsible for the income. And I found out early on I didn't like managing people because I tried to scale that business, and managing people is the pits. I know, John D, man, no one's ever going to love your business like you are in a traditional business, like you do in a traditional business. So I became a mom. So 5 years married, we decided to have kids, and I did not like the idea of having to leave my kids with somebody else. And I didn't have an answer. So I actually closed my practice because that is like having a child. And I became an independent contractor, which was kind of like a step down, but still had my own, I was still self-employed in the same way. But I still didn't like missing time with my kids. My mom was able to help out. I was really grateful for that. But then my second son came around 2 years later. And for the first time in my life, I didn't want to go to work. And I was a workaholic. I started working when I was 11 years old because I was so independent. I mean, any like strong independent people on here, like, I'm going to do it. And so I started saving up my money at 11 years old to buy a car when I was 16. So I've always been very driven, but when I became a mom, like, priorities really changed and I did not have an answer. I made very good money. I was doing work that I really loved. In fact, the practice that I was able to treat patients out of was across the street from my house. I mean, I could not get any better than that as far as linear income. But I didn't like the last minute scheduling of my patients, if my kids were sick, if the weather was bad. I didn't love knowing that I was kind of capped because physically I could only do so much work, right? If anybody's in the body work profession, there's only so many hours you can do. And I also didn't love the idea of having to use my savings to subsidize the fewer hours that I was doing. So on maternity leave, making zero income after my second child was born, I had both my kids at home. A friend of mine came to me and just said, I have a business opportunity for you. Now, he was in real estate, so guess what I thought it probably was? Okay. He didn't say, oh, you're a physical therapist, you should look at this product. And I'm really glad, because he had no idea that I was praying for something. I was thinking, like, how can I stay at home and make a lot of money? So he shared that news clip with me. I was shocked. I'd never heard of oxidative stress before. In all my years, I'm a health science undergrad. I spent years studying human anatomy and I never heard of that term. But I realized, having a population of patients with chronic pain and inflammation, that oxidative stress probably played a role in that. So the gears started turning about how something so simple could help people, starting with me, because I was all about it. I didn't have any major issues, but as a mom, and I've been a health nut all my whole life, I was like, this is a really important tool. I didn't expect to feel anything, but I knew I wanted it in my body. So I jumped in as a distributor, literally on a random Friday night, because I just couldn't, I was sitting on the fence, and that's always uncomfortable. Okay. Talk about personal growth. How many times in your life are you just sitting on the fence, not making a decision, right? So personal growth opportunity number one, just make a decision, something, because trust me, you can always go back over the fence if you need to, but get off the fence. And I jumped in, and I knew I was going to share that news clip no matter what. I mean, really. Would somebody have to pay you to share that news clip with somebody? This is the greatest gift. I'm sure if you've been around for a while, you've heard thousands or hundreds of stories about how these products have changed people's lives. So I was on board with that. And thankfully, the person that I enrolled under actually wasn't very active in the business. She was my sister. I found out she was actually a distributor. I did not enroll under the person that showed me the business. Okay. So get off the fence of whoever you're thinking about, because they're probably on somebody else's list, or one of their family members could be in the business. Get a hold of those people. I signed up under her. She wasn't very active. And so the person above her and Marcy Steiner kind of scooped me up and became my mentors. I knew nothing about network marketing. I really thought it was all product, like you just sell the product, right? Well, that's not what network marketing is. I mean, it is so much bigger than that, including this very important piece of personal growth. Now, I'm involved in personal growth. I've been kind of a seeker. If you've ever met someone who's a seeker, who's always like spiritual seeking, like always exploring, maybe the one that seems a little, they're just a little different. That's been me since I was about 24. It started with being introduced to meditation, and then some interesting books about philosophy and life, and different spiritual teachers. And I'm not particularly religious, but I have an affinity towards spirituality in general. And I was introduced to some really powerful work when I was 27 years old. I can't even believe it, because a lot of people, it's like midlife, when things are really getting bad, that's when something turns. But I was exploring, because what I was finding in my life back then was there was this common theme that was coming up for me in relationships. So I wasn't married yet. And I just kept feeling insecure, just kind of fearful, like unworthy, these feelings. And I had this aha where, wow, that's a really consistent theme, but I'm in like all these different scenarios. Maybe there's something over here. So if you've ever been building your business or you're on this journey and you notice a theme in how you're feeling, it's probably not that thing out there. It's probably something in here. And that's what kind of caused me to do a deep dive on that, and had so many breakthroughs, and ended up on many, many years of exploring spirituality and personal growth, Eastern and Western work, psychology, landmark education, if anybody's familiar with that. And then LifeVantage comes into my life. And I go to a first home meeting, and at the end, Marcy Steiner, Mrs. Marcy Steiner was a Pro 5 and Amy Homewood was a Pro 4. And now Amy Homewood is a pro 10 and Marcy Steiner is a pro 9. But we sat on the couch after this meeting and she said, are you coachable? Are you coachable? And so when you hear that question, like what comes up for you? Like, what do you mean? Like, you know, who Olympic athletes get coached, not because they're bad, it's because they're always getting better. But this word coachable made me think of this program I did with Landmark Education. I was like, is this the Landmark? Is this like a Landmark thing? Is this personal growth thing? I immediately recognized it. Now, just to get perspective, it was, you know, at the time it was $600, $700 to come in. Now that's equivalent to a platinum pack today. I used to pay hundreds of dollars for a weekend, a personal growth weekend, $700 to $1,000, or for a myofascial release weekend of training, easily $1,200 for the course, the lodging, the food. And then LifeVantage was that thing, you get in, you come, you get the products, and the first event was $79 or something. And I figured, wow, well, I'm gonna go to that because this is a business, and I was already a pro 4 actually by my first event. And then I started noticing the people that this company brought in to put on stage. People like, I wrote this down, people like, oh gosh, where did I write it? Bob Proctor. Okay, Bob Proctor was in The Secret. Mel Robbins, who created the 5-second rule. Andy Andrews, who's another big one. I wrote it down. Where did I write this? I wrote down these.
Maxwell.
What?
John C. Maxwell.
Oh my gosh, John Maxwell for an entire year. I mean, do you know how much people pay just to see him alone? And it was included. It was amazing. So, I mean, here are some of the issues that this platform has helped me get through because of the people that the company invests in to invest in us. Because they know this is a personal growth platform we get paid to do. Seriously. I mean, if anything, never let go of this platform. The amount of the leadership and the influencers and the personal growth people, it's insane. Like, you cannot get this kind of development for this money anywhere else. So here are some things that came up for me along my journey, okay? One was getting told no, okay? So rejection, not feeling good enough or taking it personally. And I recognized early on, I didn't have very thick skin at all. I mean, I was like not bulletproof. But how did that impact me in my life? Not just this business, but in life. Could I like show up and hold my ground when something hard happened? Well, not very well back then, okay? Having disagreements with my support team, personality clashes occasionally. Now you could say, well, I'm not going to build this business. Like, oh, I just get so, I'm just going to stomp off and quit. Well, how would that show up in life if I did that all the time, just because I disagreed with somebody, right? So it gave me an opportunity to learn how to have clearing conversations and open communication, something I wasn't very good at before. Definitely wanting to quit when it got hard. Definitely. Finding all sorts of other things to do for sure. The grass is greener. That thing over there looks like it's growing really fast. I mean, they just put it right online and they're making $100. Like, that looks easier. I had moments like that, okay? They didn't have what we have. So there's a difference between being easy and being committed. And I had to dig deep into my commitment, what I wanted in my life, and really understanding that LifeVantage had all these things. And if I just left LifeVantage to go over there, let me tell you, those problems follow you. If these things don't get cleared up over here, they're going to show up over there, and then you've thrown away this opportunity. And so that was a big growth opportunity for me too. You know, it's like, we've got to heal that stuff. This is a platform, it's a playground to do it, to work on that stuff while you grow, get paid, support your family. Another thing, settling for maybe a business partner that didn't really want to do this, but signing them up anyway. How many times does that show up in life, right? Where you just kind of settle. You don't really get what you want, but you're like, well, it's good enough. And everybody matters, but like when you're desperate and you're like, oh, let me just sign them up even though I know they're not ready. Okay, big growth opportunity there. Feeling like I didn't fit in. I have had that feeling throughout my whole entire life. And if you've ever felt like you weren't fitting in, right? I felt that way when I was, I still feel that way sometimes. Like I don't fit in among the elites. I'm an elite, but I'm like a fraud. Okay. Okay. But definitely in the early stages of the business, like, there's like, ooh, they're like so high up on a pedestal as if like I'm not worthy. So this is a playground to explore that worthiness and embrace the fact that you are worthy. Okay. We all fit in here at LifeVantage. I love LifeVantage. It's kind of like my sorority. We were just kind of like a hodgepodge of so many different kinds of people. And I love that. We have that here. So much diversity. Feeling challenged and doing things that leaders are kind of, not required to do, but inspired to do, like hosting my own team Zoom. I was just sharing with Dondi and Marcy, like, it's like my least favorite thing to do, but I've had that my whole life. I would get anxious before a group exercise class and I would just like not want to do it. I would eventually quit. Okay. But it's given me an opportunity to become more articulate and trust in myself, maybe meditate to like get really clear and trust my intuition. Like all these things have shown up for me, taking full responsibility for my business. I've had times where I didn't feel like being very responsible. And that certainly can show up in my life. So again, playground to explore that. Calling up the people on your chicken list. Is there anybody that you're afraid to call because you think they're better than you? Okay. How about you just like have so much respect for them that you wanted to bring this to them. You didn't want them to not know about it. I mean, I've had people, it's so easy to call people. Well, either that you're not attached to, maybe you don't even like them that much. It might be easy to call them because then you don't feel bad if they say no, or it might be easy to call people that just kind of look up to you. So it feels kind of easy. What about people who are really tenacious, who really understand success, who have an abundant mindset? I mean, how many times are we, do we reach out to somebody like a charity case? Okay. They have it's like a mindset of they're broke. Okay. If I talk to somebody on the phone, they're like, I'm broke. It's not, they're broke because they have broke mindset, but it might be like easy to reach out to that person and say, well, this can help you. What about reach out to somebody who already has that abundant mindset, right? And Amy Homewood, Marcy Steiner, when she joined this business, she was in another business before where she did not feel confident bringing that opportunity to her most successful friends. And when she went to Amy Homewood, who was already like financially taking care of her life, she was one of the top financial female producers in the world. And she brought this to Amy Homewood. Now she's a Pro 10 because she has an abundant mindset. So don't ever feel like you're not good enough to bring this to them because it's not about you. It's about the information, right? And lastly, resistance. Oh my gosh. Is there anything that you kind of resist in the business? You're like, oh, don't tell me what to do. Like, I don't want to be told what to do. Or like places where I'm not coachable. I haven't been coachable. So when you two just put up that thing about telling your story, I have canceled out that box so many times after I opened my virtual office because I just don't feel like it. But what if that like one little thing could tighten up my story and have an impact on my business? Why am I resistant to that? So there's a personal growth opportunity right now. I am going to do that 5-second rule in between this Zoom and the next Zoom. Thank you to you for that. So I recognize that. All I would say is if you're feeling or recognizing any of these things that I'm sharing that have showed up for me along this journey, is do what Marcy and Dondi and I just did a few weeks ago. We recognized that we were maybe in a, feeling the heaviness of the world. Maybe we got stuck in the rabbit hole, reading articles and negativity, and it's heavy. It feels like you're dragging this thing, trying to build your business and expand, but dragging this weight. And so we plugged into a program where there was an immense momentum of growth, immense excitement. It was like getting shaken up like this, right? Don't you feel that? And I was like, I've got to plug into something because I'm in a space where I can't figure it out myself. I'm telling you, if you try to figure it out, you're only in your own head. Like there's got to be someone else out there to help mirror what's going on. and help pull you out. But you've got to be the one to make the decision that you want something different than your current result. If you want to feel different, if you want a different result, then you got to plug into people who are on that growth path. And that's how we got reconnected again, was in that program. And it did, you know, little things for me. I started my gratitude jar every single morning. I bought a rebounder in my bedroom so that before I actually left my bedroom, I was jumped on that rebounder 100 times just to shake up my body and energetically shift things for me. Started drinking lemon water in the morning. I don't even really understand what all that means, but it was like intentionally giving to myself. It was like self-love. And if we can start with self-love first thing in the morning, we have more to give, right? And it's so easy to roll out of bed and go walk your crazy puppy. Like I just bought a puppy 2 months ago, and get like frustrated and wrapped up in the craziness of the day, and then just see the day go like this. So sometimes it's hitting the bottom that gives you that rebound. And now's the opportunity if you're experiencing any of that right now. And if you're not, and you're feeling really high, reach out and grab someone, take someone with you. So, and I don't know if you guys open up for questions or anything like that, but I'll turn it back over to you guys.
Absolutely phenomenal information. Thank you so much, Kathleen. Number one, for your vulnerability, but number two, for being so astute to recognize where there's growth opportunities. And I think if more people understood what network marketing is, and more importantly, what it isn't, it is the best personal development and personal growth opportunity out there, period.
Yes.
And you get to earn while you learn. And if people truly understood that, I think it would have a much greater impact and a much greater appeal and draw. But I think also people are afraid to face their own potential and really what they could be, because they've just gotten so used to settling. So thank you for your wonderful, wonderful examples.
Yeah, I just love your experiences there that you brought so beautifully into your story, and helping people to understand that, you know what, now is the time to lean into that, to really embrace the opportunity to grow and to learn and to become more, because we know this is something we know about network marketing, right? Your business can only grow as big as you are as a person. And so if someone's out there listening to this right now and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, you know, I've been doing this, and this, but I feel like I keep hitting this dang wall constantly and I'm never getting it, but somebody else is getting there, why aren't I? Maybe this is where you need to start doing that internal evaluation and figuring out, where do I need to grow? And understanding that, especially in the first few years of your business, your paycheck comes in grander amounts in personal growth than it will in dollar signs. And eventually, if you really grab hold of that and understand what that means, is that it's that balance thing. You got to grow, not making a lot of money, but you're growing. But because you've grown, that's when it will shift and you'll make all the money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes it's like you can do the strategy, but like your own personal story or your own emotional state is causing the result. So it's not the strategy that needs to change, it's the other stuff, which is the big takeaway from that event that we did.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for saying yes, for coming on here and sharing your story, being vulnerable, and the importance of personal growth. I mean, if you really want to do something great, you have to grow into someone great, right? You have to. So thank you for being just a perfect example of that. We greatly appreciate you.
Thank you. And I'll just take a moment to tell your team, you guys, I've been watching this couple for so many years. I saw them, I think, like when they were like newlyweds, maybe. You guys are always like touching each other and you're so cute. And I was like, I want that. So you inspired me to make big changes in my life to find that. So I thank you for that. But you guys have amazing leaders here. And the best leaders are the ones that are getting coached and they're on the growth path. So that's you too. I'm so thankful. You guys are so lucky.
Thank you so much. One last thing. Can I ask you one quick question?
Yeah.
So looking from where you are now in your LifeVantage journey and looking back when you started, what is one thing that you have accomplished or grown into that surprised you, first of all? And from where you are now looking forward, what are you most excited about in your LifeVantage future?
Ooh, those are two long questions. Okay, the first one is okay, I'll just tell you my most recent surprise. Okay, and it's not really directly business related. Well, I did stand on stage in front of 5,000 people and talk to them. Like I would have never, you know, you don't come into this business thinking, oh, I could do that easily. I just said, like, I want to learn how to do that. So that was huge. But let's just talk about recently. After the event that we did and some things and everything going on Facebook, and sometimes there's people that don't agree with you and they're arguing, I feel bulletproof. I'm already bulletproof about this business. Like I'm so unrecruitable. Nobody even tries because I must have this thing, like, don't even bother. All right. But I've become less sensitive to even people disagreeing with me because I have this, it's like a people pleaser thing. I don't want to be disliked. So I've just noticed myself not having the same reaction that I would have even maybe 6 months ago. So that's huge for me. Right? But what was the second question? What am I most looking forward to?
Yeah, in your future at LifeVantage.
It's not if it's going to happen where I'm going. I mean, it's not if I hit Pro 8, it's just when. And when I hit Pro 9, like, it's just the knowing. And that's what I'm excited about. There's no struggle there. And if you know that you're unrecruitable, you're coachable, you know what you want, and you follow these leaders right here, it's not if, it's when. So I'm not only excited for me, but I'm excited for those people who recognize that. Yeah. And you can have that. I've been retired. I'm 44 years old. I've retired from my profession, mostly because I just wanted to put all my effort here, because the timing doesn't get better here. I could always go back to that. But I wanted to, it's like what you focus on grows. I'm a huge law of attraction. Like, that's like who I am. It's in my bio on Facebook. Okay. Health, wealth, and law of attraction. So I wanted to put all my effort here, and it made a difference. But now going through this pandemic, like, I haven't had to worry. I mean, my kids are now home virtually for another semester. I was able to buy my own home after this divorce. Like, this is all because of LifeVantage. I'm driving a kick-ass blue Jeep and driving with my kids in the back, and I don't have to worry about money. And gosh, if I could, like, reach out and touch those people who are worried about that right now, because it's not over. Like, we have to do that. Like, I'm excited about the opportunity we have to share with people.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. And guys, seriously, it's a gift, and we've got to get inviting. That's the first step. So make sure that every single person, and we're going to go ahead and let Kathleen hop off of here because I know she's got her
everybody
coming up here shortly. But thank you so much. And everyone else, guys, invite. You've got Jason Colcanzi tomorrow night. You've also got the one that we'll be doing just before that. And utilize the tools that are available to you in this amazing system. But we appreciate every single one of you. Love you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking your business seriously, and more importantly, taking yourself seriously and doing whatever you can to improve. We applaud you all. We love you all, and we're here to support you all. Have a wonderful night. Take care, guys. See you next week.
You got this.
You got this.